How long can a minute be?
You were good, Gerald? Awesome. All right, we'll call to order the regular meeting of the City Council, and the City Council serving as a successor agency to the former Redevelopment Agency Board for Tuesday, November 19th of 2024. This is our 5:30 p.m. closed session. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Betts.
Present.
Councilmember Gardner.
Present.
Councilmember Nunez.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Pai.
Present.
And Mayor Mattis.
Present. Do we have any public comments?
No, we do not.
Thank you very much. We'll move to closed session. Before we do that, our city attorney will announce closed session.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tonight we have one item on closed session. It's conference with legal counsel for existing litigation, and the case is Higher Yields Consulting LLC versus the city.
Thank you very much. We'll recess to closed session. Are you ready, Gerald? All right. Good evening, everybody. We're going to call this meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of the City Council, and the City Council serving as the successor agency to the former Redevelopment Agency Board for Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. This is a 6 p.m. regular session. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Betts.
Present.
Councilmember Gardner.
Present.
Councilmember Nunez.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Pai.
Here.
And Mayor Mattis.
Present. We're going to go to invocation, and Ms. Pai, Mayor Pro Tem Pai, is going to give the invocation tonight.
Self-worth and net worth. I better put glasses on. True ambiance isn't based on our net worth. It's based on our self-worth. Gabrielle Bernstein. Mental science is not a great, rich, quick scheme. Neither does it promise something for nothing. It does, however, promise the ones who will comply with its teaching that they shall be able to bring into their lives and experience greater possibilities and happier conditions. Our self-worth always is independent of our net worth.
Thank you very much. Mr. Nunez, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Mr. City Attorney, would you report on closed session, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There is no reportable action.
Thank you. Before we approve the agenda, does anyone would like to pull any items from the consent calendar? I believe Ms. Pai, you had one.
I do.
Item number 4?
Yes.
All right. We have one item left on the consent calendar, which is the payment registry and City Council expenditures. Anyone like to pull that? All right, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda. And is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on the payment registers and City Council expenditures at this time?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
All right, there's a motion. Second. I don't see anybody standing to speak on that one item. Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. Before we start public comments, if you're here to make any public comments, there's these blue cards. They're in the back on that table. Just give it to the city clerk right there, and he'll hand it to me if you want to speak on public comments. At this time, pursuant to the Brown Act, any person may comment on matters of general interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council not listed on the agenda. Under the Brown Act, the City Council shall not take action on or deliver or discuss matters raised during public comment portion of the agenda that are not listed on the agenda. All comments are to be directed to City Council, shall be devoid of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain a professional, courteous decorum during public comments. I have 2 public comments so far. Dana Johnson. Is the mic on, Gerald, or does it need to be turned up? It's on.
Hi, everybody. Mr. Mayor,
esteemed council. My name is Dana Johnson. I'm the director of Food Now, and I just want to thank the city and the community members for helping Food Now be one of the largest food distribution networks in the entire Coachella Valley. We could not do this without you. There's a lot of ways to support Food Now. One is to go to foodnowdhs.org and support us. Another way is to come to our events. We had a wonderful event last Friday night, The Art of Giving. Councilmember Gary Gardner, thank you so much for being an esteemed artist, a VIP. We raised over $50,000 to help feed our neighbors, our friends, and our family. Every week we'll distribute about 350 to 400 families, food to 400 families every week. This time of year, that number jumps to 600 families every week. Could not do it without you. A lot of the support we get is through food drives. Councilmember Betts, I want to personally thank you for the help you gave us in getting support from Sunline Transit. So we are the recipient organization for the Western Coachella Valley for the Sunline Fill the Bus. So that is Thursday at the Smoke Tree Shopping Center in Palm Springs. So this Thursday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., please come out to Palm Springs. Another thing we have going on, let me just read this real quick. This holiday season, countless families in our community face the harsh reality of hunger. For them, an empty plate is more than just a meal missed. It's a stark reminder of what's missing in their lives. But with your support, we can do so much more than simply fill plates. Together, we're delivering hope, compassion, and the dignity that everyone deserves, especially during the season of giving. Every dollar you give puts nutritious meals on tables and eases the burden on struggling families and brings comfort to those who need it most. Let's ensure no one is left behind to face the holidays alone. Together, we can share the warmth of a meal and the assurance of a community that cares. Speaking of a community that cares, I want to introduce my dear friend Robert of Carve. They are one of the biggest supporters of Food Now, and we have this tomorrow and Thursday. We have the biggest food distribution of the year. We'll be distributing about 600 turkeys over the 2 days and all the fixins, and I want to introduce Robert.
Hi guys, thank you for having me. I just want to introduce myself, that's all, and I appreciate everything you guys do for us. We're so excited for tomorrow. We're going to do 500 turkeys, 500 fixings to everybody in need. So I'm one of the owners at KRV. I don't know if you guys are familiar. So you guys are ever looking for an RV, that's us. But I just want to introduce myself, show a face, and maybe make more of these, make it out to more of these. So
Awesome.
Nice to meet you guys.
Just to recap, tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday from 7 a.m. to, from 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., we will be distributing groceries, turkeys, and all the side dishes. So you're listening at home, come on out. We'll be there. Carve will be there. Look forward to everybody.
Thank you
there.
guys for
Thank
everything you're doing
Nice
for the
meeting you
community.
guys.
Awesome to hear how much you raised, Dana. Awesome.
Where's this at tomorrow morning?
At Food Now.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
If anybody's listening at home, please join us.
All right,
I
guys,
just
thank
wanted to say, I recognize that, and you're the largest RV in the city.
you. Yeah.
Thank you for your donation.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. I'm really excited to be down here. So yeah, appreciate that.
Thank you guys.
Thank
All
you
right,
for your
guys.
support, you guys. Thank you.
Doug McAllister?
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Doug McAllister. I'm Vice President of Frontier Communications. I've been here a couple of times. I'm here tonight for one specific reason. We have been suffering through a rash of cable theft around the entire country. California's been hit the worst, and it's been quite difficult to deal with because typically they go where no one is, cut down the poles, take the cables. The copper is only getting more and more valuable, and as it gets more valuable, it's getting more stolen. Now, the reason this is an issue is because there have been times when you've experienced outages. And I'm not sure exactly what the percentage is, but it's close to 100% of the time that you've experienced outages here, it's because someone stole cable, sometimes 100 miles away. And it's been very frustrating, I know for you, because sometimes it takes out your 911. Sometimes it takes out, we've had 29 Palms go down. It takes out military installations and such. And it's all because folks are seeing the opportunity to take cable. And they're taking it offshore, they're taking it to recyclers and such. And so we're dealing with that. I'm working on dealing with that statewide and coordinating the response to it. My purpose here tonight is just to raise awareness for that. I typically, and your staff has been great, they alert me when these outages happen. And typically, I end up being sometimes the first person in Frontier Country to find out about the outages, because as good as technology is, people on the ground are faster, and you let me know it's the boots on the ground intel that I get, and we're able to get, go find where the theft happened and get it all fixed. We're having issues right now with turnaround times because they've stolen so much of our copper. We're having to have it shipped in from Pennsylvania now, and sometimes it takes a week or two for it to get here, and then we go out and fix it. And so our repair times are sometimes could be 10 hours or it could be 10 days to get these things fixed. This is a homeland security issue. Anytime you're taking down military bases, you're taking down 911 for your first responders, it becomes a very major issue. We have rewards in place for those, and what I'm here to, among other things, to say is your law enforcement has been great. Oh, is that me already?
No, you're fine.
Oh.
You got 41 more seconds.
I got to hurry. Your law enforcement has been absolutely awesome, but it's a very, very difficult thing to deal with. It's like whack-a-mole. You stop it over here, they can pop up over here and such. And so bottom line here is if folks see something, if they would say something, that will help law enforcement, because they can't be everywhere all the time. And so I'm also kind of convening a consortium of elected officials who can come alongside me and with other officials around the state to bring awareness to anybody this needs to be brought to see to it that we have the resources we need around the state, because it's not just Frontier, it's anybody who uses copper to get this dealt with. Hopefully we'll get to fiber everywhere soon, but until that happens, copper is going to be available, and they're going to try to steal it. So I'm out of time. I'm just here to say thank you to your law enforcement for their help, but making sure you guys are aware of what it is. If you have any questions, you all know where to find me.
Thanks, Doug.
Okay, thanks.
Matt Cunningham. Matt Cunningham is the last speaker, and if anyone wants to speak, this is second call.
All right. Hi, my name is Matthew Cunningham. Tonight kind of was a little bit different than what I expected it was going to be. But I do want to hand out gratitude to Russell Betts for coming out and checking out my program that I have. It's called Peloteros Baseball. I know in the past I've had some issues with some city members, and I want to put that all behind me. Okay? I want to move forward. What I'm doing is all free for the community. A lot of the stuff I did come out of my own pocket. I'm disabled. I don't even have a job. So a lot of this is just out of my pocket. I was recently emailed because I used an ATV on the field to drag it, and I understand, that it probably wasn't the right thing to do, but it was for the kids' safety. I spoke with Mr. Mattis on the subject, and we're gonna have a meeting, and I'm gonna have some parents come in with me, so we can get this matter fixed and move forward with the program. The program isn't just for me to take kids away from Little League, and that's a rumor that's going around, and that's not true. I pulled my kids for my own reasons, and some kids followed. I did start this program in 2023 over the summer, and it kind of fell off because I went through some personal issues, but after some stuff came up, it revamped. Like I said, I'm here to help all the kids in the community. The hardest group for me right now to coach is 5 to 8 because we really don't have a lot of coaches. It's just me, my brother. We don't have a lot of extras. So this is all free time that we have. And it's, like I said, it's not just for the kids that are going to go play with us and travel, but it's for the kids that are going to stay here and play in the local league. Our goal is to get all these kids better and better and better by the time they go to high school. I've seen the gap between my daughter's group of kids that I coached to the kids that are coming up now, and we're falling apart. So our goal is to get that back on track and keep the community and the kids off the streets. We do have a lot of issues with kids going up there with dirt bikes, quads, tearing up the fields. We have it a lot, and it's really bad. And the people in the community, they do need to step up, and when they see those kids out there, go tell them to get off the fields, because they're ruining it for the kids that are trying to do better in their lives. If you look on the news, you see kids from India, Coachella, going to college, that's what we need for this community. And that's what my program is about. We don't get a lot of donations, But when we do get the help, we spread it amongst the kids. We buy the materials we need to help them fix, and we build our own batting cages. You know, that's what we're doing for the kids. And I just want to say, Scott, thank you. And I want you guys just to know that it's for the community. It's not for my benefit. It's for every kid that plays for Peloteros baseball or for Desert Hot Springs Little League.
Awesome.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Scott. You guys have a good night.
I don't have any other blue cards for public speaking. Anyone else want to speak tonight? All right, we'll close public comments this time. We're going to move to city manager's report.
There are no updates this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. We'll move to city council comments. I'll start with Ms. Pye, Mayor Pro Tem Pye.
Okay, I have good news. One is Shane Murray DeCollis, and he is with Bubbling Wells Elementary School, and he received an award for Do the Right Thing. His teacher wrote, Shane is a spirited student here at Bubbling Wells Elementary School who always enters the class with a positive outlook, brightening the atmosphere for everyone around him. Despite facing hardships, he maintains a joyful mood that inspires his peers. His independence is evident in how he cares for his family and looks out for his younger siblings. And he often volunteers to assist his teacher, showcasing his willingness to help others. Shane most recently shown great enthusiasm for participating in our school START Club, which stands for Students Teaching Acceptance, Respect, and Tolerance. This involvement highlights his commitment to fostering an environment of respect and consideration for everyone, showcasing his wonderful character and leadership potential. With him is his mother. During the event, the parents don't know what their child has done or what someone has said about them, and she is a very proud parent. Now I'm going to move on to something else. I went to a jazz concert, Sweet Baby J, Palm Springs Sunset Music and Comedy Festival on November 10th. And to quote a jazz singer, Nancy Wilson, guess who I saw today? I saw Dr. Brian McDonald. Brian studied here, and the Elks Club gave him donations for his band. The Desert Hot Springs Women's Club gave him a scholarship. Rotary gave him a scholarship. He left, went to college, and came back as a doctor at our high school. Then he left, and now he's back with students here in Painted Hills. And I wasn't expecting to see him at all, but he was there, and he wrote to me that it was great seeing me. That doesn't matter. 2 Painted Hills middle school students were awarded instruments to help them on their musical journey. We are beyond grateful that Sunset Music were so generous with our presentation. And he mentioned that the Palm Springs Unified School District Foundation were the conduit that made this all possible, but not quite. Sweet Baby J has a foundation where she gives instrument to students. Students can only practice at school, and they don't get to practice or take it home. And so what she does is she gives them instruments. And so Miguel received a guitar and Brandon an alto saxophone, and you could see them up there. And there was a lady who was a guest saxophonist, and I do have her name, Pamela Williams, and she performed for the kids. And Sweet Baby J is the person that gave them the awards. And it was very exciting. And Sweet Baby J called the foundation of Palm Springs Unified School District, Ellen Goodman, and she called McDaniel to find out if he had any students. And he always says yes, and that's how they got there. The next person, Donna Wardine, would you please step forward? We are going to show a video of her, and I'll wait till you see it.
It's a stabilizer. Thank you. Scared the heck out of me.
Was that for a special occasion?
I was asked to do a commercial for Paris Drop Zone. They have the only DC-9, which is the aircraft that D.B. Cooper ran out the back of with $1 million. So the story goes. And they have the only one set up for skydiving in the world. So I was quite honored, number one, to be asked and comped because it's pretty expensive, and then paid because I'm me. Thank you.
First skydive, right?
That's my latest skydive. I have over 3,000 jumps. I have over 36 hours in free fall, and I can't relate to the number of jumps, but I can relate to 12 hours yesterday of daylight, 12 hours today of daylight, and 12 hours tomorrow of daylight. That's how much time I have in free fall.
Wow.
I've experienced, been part of more than 30 world records, and I was lucky enough to start the holding hands in free fall. I was the first number 9, and now we have gone to over 200, bigger than a football field. And so I've been with the sport a long time, and I'm quite honored. And thank you so much, Jan. I appreciate that
was
for
awesome.
the recognition.
You call that a sport, huh?
You betcha. No free rides. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jan.
You're welcome. And last, when you're traveling, I'm not going to tell you everything about Palm Springs Airport. I'm just going to say stay informed and go to flypsp.com, and they'll tell you everything you need to know. I did elementary, I did middle school, and he's going to do the high school. I'm done.
Mr. Nunez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have a few freaking updates that I've been trying to do and never get a chance to do it, so now I'm going to finally get a chance to do them. So October 16th to the 18th, went to the League of California Cities conference in Long Beach. Very informative. I think we spend more time talking with individuals from different cities than we actually did in the conferences. So it was a really good experience to rub elbows with some of the city managers, some of the city council members, mayors. Just want to report on that. On October 24th, participated with our city manager in the 4th District Board of Supervisors breakfast in Temecula. That was very informative to see where the future of our county is going and what each district is up to. So I just want to report on that, Mr. Mayor. November 14th, I am a committee member for the Riverside County Community Action Partnership, and we just passed our strategic plan for the year 2024 to 2028. The reason why I bring that up, because the city of Desert Hot Springs and another city in the Coachella Valley are going to be at the center of attention when it comes to this strategic plan, because of it identifies the cities that are badly needed to lift out of poverty. So we're going to be seeing a lot of more action coming out of these services out of the Riverside County. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of that and look forward to some of the programs that are going to be bringing to our city and our residents. I did invite them to come up to our city council meeting to give us an update of what that plan looks like and what areas of attention they're going to be focusing on. So look forward to that in the coming months, Mr. Mayor. I just want to say Happy Veterans Day to all those that we missed. So I didn't get a chance to say that. We didn't have our meeting, so I just want to give honor to our veterans and my son that's in the military now. I just want to say thank you for your service. And lastly, I'm wearing my Fernando Valenzuela T-shirt to give homage to one of Hispanic's greatest players. So that's why I'm wearing the Dodger shirt. So that's it, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Gardner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I will echo Mr. Nunez's comments about our Veterans Day. We had a wonderful Veterans Day celebration up at the park, and saw a lot of our veterans and a lot of our residents, and very nice flyover from our friends at Palm Springs Air Museum on time this time. This year they were on time, which was good. And I think next year we need to get them to have a plane that Donna can jump out of and parachute into the middle of the veterans thing. So we'll have to work on that. Have had more than my fill of spaghetti the last couple of weeks. We had 2 spaghetti feed fundraisers at the Elks Club the past week. One for the Desert Hot Springs High School Band for their trip to New York, raised a little over $3,500 for that one, and also one for Friends of the Desert Hot Springs Library. I don't know how much they raised at that one, but lots of spaghetti. As Dana Johnson said, our own local food bank, Food Now, had their Art of Giving fundraiser, and a lot of local artists sold artwork there. Robert Ballard here in the city, Brian Badowski, and myself all had pieces sold and helped raise a lot of money for Food Now. Visit Greater Palm Springs had an all-day planning session for the next 2 years, focusing on new and innovative ways to grow our tourism economy as well as other economic development strategies. And Ms. Pye, one of the top things that we talked about was the need to expand the airport and how important that will be for future tourism growth. So pass that along to the airport folks. Coachella Valley Conservation Commission met. We purchased additional conservation land in and around Desert Hot Springs, 5 acres in the Upper Mission Creek and Big Morongo Canyon Conservation Area. And what was really interesting is we did a land swap to enable the Coachella Valley Water District to reconstruct and build some new channels under the freeway between Indian and Date Palm to disperse more water from Mission Creek and the surrounding washes to prevent the flooding that Cathedral City saw during the tropical storm Hillary. So we swapped some conservation land with them and some other spots to be able to let them put some more culverts and things under the freeway, and their plan is not to close the freeway to do that. They're just going to drill underneath it. And lastly, the Coachella Valley Mountains Conservancy also met, and we approved a nice grant for the Living Desert, for that will be coming out to all of our schools, elementary, high school, and junior high school in Desert Hot Springs, to work with the kids on building pollinator gardens and discussing the importance of protecting pollinators, educating kids on bees and other pollinators. So that's all I've got for this time. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Betts.
And thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last Thursday, I attended an awards ceremony at Whitewater Preserve. The occasion was the 30-year anniversary of the California Desert Protection Act, but of particular note was the Minerva Hoyt California Desert Conservation Award that went to this year's recipient was Joan Taylor. She's vice chair of the Sierra Club, for the California and Nevada Desert Committee. Her accomplishments are broad and wide, as we heard during the presentation, but here in Desert Hot Springs, what was important was her help and work on the multi-species habitat conservation plan, which is basically a preservation and development plan agreement. Her work on Palmwood, and then preventing a very out-of-place and very dense development that was going to take place at the entrance to the Sand to Snow National Monument and Mission Creek Preserve. So I was honored to be able to present a certificate of recognition to Joan on behalf of the city, and she was very appreciative of getting that. From there, I went to CVAG Energy and Sustainability is what they're calling it now, and we had one informational item that might be of interest. What we're hearing, it was just an informational item, not an action item, but the state of California now is contemplating that once your hot water heater goes out, if you have a gas hot water heater, that you'll have to replace it with an electric hot water heater. For some reason, electric is gold, and the conversation quickly turned to how much is that going to cost on everybody's electric bill. From there, I went to the College of the Desert, groundbreaking for the Palm Springs campus. And it was really interesting to hear the presentation. In 2004, the city of Palm Springs approved the bonds, or the bonds were approved by voters. And Rod Noden would happen to be the mayor at that time. And he also got to take part in the shoveling, the ceremonial shoveling, and I did too. And Jan, I think I saw you there. So we got to, it was a very important occasion, I think, for the students in Desert Hot Springs. It's going to be a fabulous campus, and I can't think of anything better than that campus. Well, it would be nice if it was in Desert Hot Springs, but the next best thing is just 15 minutes away in Palm Springs. And I was really impressed when I heard the curriculum. You got hospitality and tourism, casino management, culinary arts, healthcare, film, media, digital arts, and architecture. And what was really exciting was to hear that they're working on a bachelor's degree that you can get through that campus in architecture, working in partnership with Cal State Polytechnic University at Pomona. So that's a really good development and opportunity. They're going to start construction, well, I guess when we did the shovels, Jan, we started construction. It should be done by 2027. So I don't have the exact dollar amount, but it's a big facility. Attended Southern California Association of Governments. I've been serving up there for 14 or 15 years. It was a nice opportunity to say goodbye to some people I've sat with and done a lot of work with up there regionally. And the city council may want to press down at CVAG to see which appointment might be, might be somebody in the city. It's a great opportunity for our city to participate there. I know that over the years we've brought in some grants because of our awareness and the participation up there, and so that would be a good opportunity. Attended Sunline. There's several projects in process there. I don't know if people realize it, but we are the busiest lines in Sunline Transit Agency District, or the whole service area. We have 3 lines, 1, 2, and 5. The express lane down to COD. So I just happened to be sitting at Taco Bell, and before I went on my diet, and I watched 3 of the buses right there at the intersection all at once, all 3 of them, and it was just it was a good to see the service that we're getting here. So we'll need to keep our attention there. The Maverick gas station opened today, I hear. I was in there yesterday, and they said, no, you can't come in, you just get gas. But then they're full open today, so that was great. Attended the, Roger, I know Roger was trying to teach me Spanish in the closed session room, but I'm just going to say Day of the Dead.
Dia de los Muertos.
Thank you. Ceremony at Mission Springs Park, and staff did a great job on that. Enjoyed the Veterans Day ceremony. And finally, I just want to take a moment here, I won't go much longer, but very sad note. On election night at 3:30 in the morning, I get a very frantic call from the wife of a very dear friend of mine, my best friend, and the words were, he's dead. And they were watching election night results, and he stood up to go to bed, and he said, "Oh no." Those were his last words. He knew something had happened, and he had a heart attack and died right there. 66 years old, young, healthy, not expected to happen. And the person was Gabriel King. And Gabriel King has been quite a fixture here in this town. He made his living drawing homes, mostly homes that were 5,000 to 14,000 square feet up in Bighorn, PGA West, quite an accomplished home designer. But he also provided free of charge to our city the plans that were taken to Washington for our health and wellness center. He did the first plans and the renderings, and they carried those off, and that helped bring in a couple of $1 million. He didn't do all the $2 million, but it's certainly having that visual there for the presentation was good. He also served on our planning commission and on our architectural review committee, and he's going to be very missed. He's somebody who I called very often and who the city has relied on many times. So on that sad note, I'm going to end, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. It's been a month since our meeting, so I had a few things I attended. So on October 18th, I attended the cleanup program. As most of you know, the cleanup committee in Desert Hot Springs has changed its purview to mostly going to schools and teaching kids in the elementary schools how to put their trash in the right receptacle. And so Desert Valley Disposal partners with us. We have a great program. We were able to go up to Julius Corsini School, and I don't know which is the next school, but there'll be one in, I believe, in February. The same day, Seek Personnel Staffing had their grand opening for their second location here in Desert Hot Springs, which is on Indian Canyon. So I was glad to see them moving along. They've done a lot of cannabis staffing in the past and worked with the city of Desert Hot Springs, so it was really good to see them expanding their services. CVAG Transportation met on October 21st, really to set some parameters on how they see moving forward with the new transportation study. So they put all of us in a room and asked us a bunch of questions. And of course, not all of us agreed on everything, but they're going to take our answers from the surveying and move forward with moving forward with the plan. Wanted to thank Rotary for putting on the Happy Halloween event. Pods had a ribbon cutting. It was a nice facility. It's a nice, I believe, 60,000 square foot facility here in Desert Hot Springs in the industrial area. If you know those big things called pods they drop off at your home so you can pack it up and they pick it up with a truck and take it to wherever you're going. They now have a district location here in Desert Hot Springs that will service the Coachella Valley. Senior scam. So the Assemblyman Greg Wallace has put on this event at most senior centers in his district. It's called a senior scam program, and it basically talks about what seniors have to prepare for if they're ever receive the phone calls, mail, things that they don't understand, and it educates them on what they should or shouldn't do when receiving these types of correspondence. So I wanted to thank him for bringing his staff here and putting that on at our senior center. The Desert Hot Springs Animal Control Facility had their annual had a fundraiser. They raised, I don't know how much they raised, but they had a lot of really cool things out there. I know they got $150 out of my family and almost adopted a pet. My wife really she literally put a puppy in my hand, and it almost went home with us. But we helped with buying some teeth whitening or whatever it was she wanted, and then she gets what she wants. And then on the November 2nd, the Desert Hot Springs, that was the day of that event, but Dia de los Muertos, was I close? All right, I keep working on it every year. Festival happened this year, and thank you to all the hard work from our city staff, from our police department to all our public works people, to everyone that helped out with our staff that was out there putting the event on. Thank you for all you did for that. And our Pentecostal church here in Desert Hot Springs, out off of Too Much Palms, held a harvest festival that night. Great turnout from the community. They put it on each and every year. I just wanted to say thank you to them. On November 3rd, I was invited to Lily of the Valley Church. The pastor there, him and his wife, have spent 28 years in the ministry, and were celebrated that day, and I was able to speak and say a few words for them. On November 4th, CVAG Transportation met in its regular meeting, nothing pertaining directly to Desert Hot Springs, so I won't bore you with the details on that. November 11th, we had our Veterans Day. Thank you to all our staff for coming in and putting that on for our community, and thank you to the Air Museum for the flyover. It was fantastic and on time, as mentioned. Palm Springs Unified School District, we meet with them quarterly, Mr. Nunez and I, and we have a 2x2 meeting. We talk with the city manager and the superintendent and our representative from this district here, John Girardi, and we talked about issues that face our schools. And so we pressed on some issues, and they pressed back on some of the issues they're having, and we coordinate on those and collaborate and work well together. So I wanted to thank them for their time. Riverside County Transportation Commission met on November 13th, and nothing pertained directly to Desert Hot Springs. So again, I won't bore you with a bunch of those details. And then finally, as was mentioned earlier, the fundraiser for Food Now. Most of us attended that in Palm Desert. They raised, as Dana had said, over $50,000, and all that goes directly to residents in and around Desert Hot Springs with food insecurities. So it's a great program. And then finally, as Mr. Gardner had alluded to, and Ms. Pye, there was Mr. Nunez and I sponsored a fundraiser for our local Desert Hot Springs band. Desert Hot Springs band is close to my heart because my oldest son, who's now 32, but when he was in high school here in Desert Hot Springs, he was part of the band all 4 years, and 2 years in middle school, and actually started in 5th grade, so he loved music. But when he got to high school, the one big trip they got to take was to New York, and they haven't taken a trip to New York since, and this was the first time the band will be going back to New York for a festival. They're going to see a Broadway play. They're going to go to the 911 Memorial. They're going to go and see just awesome trip for young people in our community to be able to get out, and a lot of them would be their first plane ride, and so it was very expensive. They needed to raise $85,000. We did our part, raised $3,500 for them. They were only $16,000 shy that night, and they believe they have some donors sitting in the wings, but if you still want to donate, you can call Desert Hot Springs High School and ask to donate to the band. The band teacher will get back to you, Mr. Rodriguez, who also graduated from Desert Hot Springs High and is teaching now for Desert Hot Springs High as their band instructor. And Dr. McDaniel is an awesome inspiration, and so is Mr. Rodriguez. So with that said, I will stop there, go on forever. Yes, go ahead.
I forgot. Dr. McDaniels asked me to say that there are great happenings at Painted Hills Middle School Band and Choir. They plan on performing at Knoxberry Farm on April 9th, 2025, with a combined band from Painted Hills Middle School and Desert Springs Middle School.
And Dr. McDaniel, just so you know, he is an inspiration to our community. When he came back here to teach at our high school, and he taught at high school level. He went to Painted Hills. He became the teacher of the year for the country, I think it was. It was incredible. So he did a really great job. He actually competed for teacher of the world, something like that. It was a competition. We named a street after him up in there. Then he went off to another school for a while, but now he's back teaching our school. So it's awesome. All right, we're going to move to public hearings. Our first public hearing, item number 2, is the Assembly Bill 1600 Annual Report, Development Impact Fees and Resolution Making Findings and Reaffirming the Necessity of Certain Development Impact Fees. Mr. Buckheim.
Yes, thank you. So the presentation will be given by Viviana Osorio, our Management Analyst.
Is it off?
There it is. It's on.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is a public hearing to review and accept the annual AB 1600 report on development impact fees for fiscal year 23-24, and to adopt the resolution of the City Council making findings and reaffirming the necessity of certain development impact fees. The city is able to collect development impact fees to offset the cost of adding facilities, infrastructure, and equipment due to increased development and population growth within the city. The city collects fees in areas for fire facilities, park improvements, streets, traffic signals, bridges, general facilities, law enforcement facilities, equipment, a community center, aquatic center, and storm drainage improvements. For fiscal year 23-24, the beginning fund balance was $3,066,093. The city collected a total of $935,938 in development impact fees and spent a total of $1,734,194 on approved projects. The total ending fund balance as of 6/30/2024 for these funds was $2,267,836. AB 1600 further requires that the city make certain findings as to any portion of impact fees deposited into an impact fee account that remains unspent after 5 years. In the case of the Fire Facilities Fund, due to the construction of Fire Station 98, those fees will be used to help with the construction and purchasing equipment for the new facility, so we expect those funds to be spent within the next year. Although historically, this has been one of the unspent funds to allow for accumulation in fiscal year 23-24, there was a necessary purchase, and that was we purchased a paramedic squad. For the Aquatic Center, we are allowing the fund buildup for the construction enhancements over at the Wardman Park Community Pool and the Health and Wellness Center Aquatic Splash Pad, and that's currently in design. Although there have been expenditures in prior years under the Law Enforcement Fund, we would like to note that the beginning negative fund balance was due to the build-out of the dispatch center. Therefore, there was no expenditures in fiscal year 23-24, bringing the fund balance back to a positive amount. Staff recommends the adoption of the resolution of the City Council making findings and reaffirming the necessity of certain development impact fees. And this concludes my presentations, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Before we answer questions, I'm going to take any comments from the audience. Is there any public comments at this time? I see none. I don't have a queue, so I'll start. Anyone? Mr. Betts?
I don't see the Desert Valley Builders Association in the audience for public comment, so we must be doing good on this one, right?
We did get a letter of approval.
Yes, I saw. The new warehouse facility, is that paying into development impact fees?
Talking about Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was after this
Are
report.
we allowed to say Amazon?
Yeah, it was after this reporting period.
Okay, after this reporting period. Okay, what will those numbers be like with respect to what we're seeing here?
Yeah, it's a lot larger than these numbers. Jeffrey, what was, approximately the amount that was paid?
Yeah. Approximately amount paid to the DIF fund was around over 3 million. So there was like an over million, like 1.3 million going to the streets development impact fee. There was also another like over $1 million going to the storm drainage. And I think the other small amount to the general facilities, and then some amount going to the fire facilities and the law enforcement. But the over diffs from the Amazon was about over $3 million.
Can we put the screen back up that showed the amounts? Sorry, Mr. Mayor, just be quick here. Okay, so that totals,
Beginning or ending, did you want?
whatever, what's the total of that? How's your math?
So the beginning fund balance was $3,066,093.
3 million, so so we're doubling it with just that one project. Okay, well, good. And the storm drain is all of a sudden more important considering Hillary. We used to sit there and wonder what that was for. Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? Ms. Pye? Mr.
Just say,
Dominguez?
good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Pye?
You mentioned DVD. I just wanted to say that they said upon completion, our review, we're satisfied with this AB 1600 report is complete and comprehensive, fulfilling the city's annual reporting obligation. And also, if anybody wants to see whether or not we're spending development fees correctly, if you go to the staff report, you'll find out what we have done, what percentage has been done, and it's whether it was 10% or if it was 100%. And you can drill down on that and find out all is good.
Yes.
And I apologize, I didn't follow the public hearing here, so we entertain questions from staff and got comments. I open the public hearing at this time. Take any testimony in favor, opposed, or neutral position. Didn't have anybody coming up before that. All right, I'll close the public hearing at this time. Any more discussion by the council? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the adoption of AB 1600.
I'll second.
All right, the motion is to adopt the resolution. And we got a motion and a second. Wait for it to come up on the screen. No further discussion, please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, we'll move to administrative calendar. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Move to the administrative calendar tonight. Item number 3, which is legal services agreement, city attorney, Mr. Lucchino.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The item in front of you this evening is the recommendation is to authorize the city manager to negotiate and execute a contract with Cole Huber LLP for a retainer amount of $26,840 monthly. Just by way of some background, the city's current legal firm, which serves as the city attorney, is Stream Kim. They have represented the city for about approximately 5 years. Over the past month, Mr. Vu, our interim city attorney, has accepted a job with that municipal firm, Cole Huber. Over the past month, and in consultation with the council, the city will be recommending, or the staff is recommending, the appointment of Cole Huber as the city's legal representation, and keeping Mr. Vu as our interim city attorney for continuity. This will be a limited term appointment after the first of the year. The city will be kind of crafting an RFP to put out for solicitation, but Cole Huber will be putting in for the permanent position. So that concludes my staff report, and I'm happy to answer any public comment.
Do we have any public comments on this item? All right, we'll move to city council comments. Anyone?
I'll just say I forgot what you call him. Anyway, the city attorney is good.
Interim city attorney.
Okay.
And if I may, and I forgot, and I apologize, we do have 2 representatives from Cole Huber as well, partner Derek Cole, and as we know, Ms. Jennifer Maserati.
Thank you for being here. Any comments? No? That's a good attorney right there. Yes, Mr. Pitts.
So my understanding is this is a firm that's got considerable breadth. They're not just a one-off firm. They represent many cities throughout California.
They do, and two cities in a regional area anyway, Yucaipa and Hemet.
And they have all kinds of different specialties inside their firm for whatever would come up in their city.
They do.
Okay, and they're here just on an interim basis, but will be bidding, which I know you said, but I'm repeating. So, okay, good. I'm very happy with this selection. I think this is a good move.
Anyone else? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that we appoint Cole Huber as our temporary city attorney to confirm the contract.
There's a motion and a second.
Second.
Who got the second?
And please vote.
Yes, on the Maserati.
Hey, I didn't vote against.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
We did have one item pulled from the consent calendar, the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. Did you want a full report, or did you just have a comment on that one?
I'm going to ask.
Deputy Chief?
Yeah, I just think this is very important, and we should not have it on the consent calendar.
All right, Deputy Chief Shaw.
Yes, sir. Mayor, City Council, good evening. So before you is an MOU between the Desert Hot Springs Police Department and the San Diego Police Department's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, otherwise known as ICAC. So a little history on this. We've been part of San Diego PD's ICAC task force for about 2 years. Before you today is a renewal of that MOU. San Diego Police Department has a pretty extensive Internet Crimes Against Children task force. They have a grant from the U.S. Department of Justice. And then part of that grant allows them to bring on other agencies. And as you can imagine, especially when it comes to our youth and our children, being a very, very vulnerable population, and also this specific incident with sexual exploitation of children, it travels across city boundaries, state boundaries, and even nationally. So our agreement and our work with San Diego ICAC has to do with assigning one detective as a collateral duty to the San Diego PD ICAC task force. That detective stays here in Desert Hot Springs. And the way it works is if San Diego gets information and a suspect here in Desert Hot Springs, they provide that information to Desert Hot Springs Police Department, and that detective that is assigned to that task force that has received additional training specifically in the investigation of internet crimes and sexual exploitation against children will take that investigation and run with it. And likewise, if we get information, excuse me, on a crime that happens down in San Diego, we pass that information on to San Diego. There can be instances where San Diego asks us for assistance on a search warrant. They may be coming up to our area in a case that leads them up here or vice versa, and we will provide that. So before you today is the recommendation is for approval of this MOU. The recommendation is to authorize the city manager to execute an agreement between the city of Desert Hot Springs and the San Diego Police Department to provide a detective as collateral duty to the San Diego PD ICAC Task Force. The term of this agreement is from January 1st of this year through December of 2028. And that agreement to be approved with substantive edits to be negotiated and approved by the city manager, and upon approval as to form by the city attorney. And this as a side note, because you may be saying, well, San Diego, what about Riverside County? Riverside County has a Riverside County ICAC unit. We are a part of that. It's just separate from San Diego. It's the same type of agreement that we have with them. So this is just with the San Diego one. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any public comments on this side? See nobody coming forth. City Council, any more comments, questions? All right.
I just have just a couple of things. So we have to do an MOU, like say with Los Angeles City Police Department, Fresno Police Department, San Francisco, if we want to be involved in that kind of task force also.
Yeah, the reason why for the MOU is because we do get some grant reimbursement from the city of San Diego from those grant funds, specifically the funds for training and specialized equipment. So because we do get reimbursement from San Diego PD, that's why we have that specific MOU with them.
Very well. Good job. Thank you.
No other comments? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second. Here's a second. A motion and a second. As soon as it comes up on the screen, no further comments, please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. Move to public comments. Anyone at the beginning of the meeting didn't get a chance to make any public comments could now. See nobody coming forth. Before we adjourn the meeting, due to the fact that the county register has a new program that they're going to drag out every election for at least 30 days, we will not meet the timeline on our next meeting. So, and with that, it's still, if for some reason there's a recount, it still gives more days after that for a recount. So, working on schedules, December 12th is the scheduled meeting, the next scheduled meeting for the certification of the local election and swearing in of the new council. So on the agenda it says December 3rd, but we wouldn't meet the certification deadline. The city and the Riverside County Registrar's Office probably won't certify it by then. So December 12th is the date for 6 p.m. and that would mean the Public Safety Commission will be canceled that day. Planning Commission still plans to meet on December 10th. With that, we are adjourned.
I think that's the shortest meeting we've had.